Hey everyone, welcome to the Roundtable with Vienna Whyte, episode 78. I'm one of your hosts, Millie Rouge. I make up one half of the band Vienna Whyte. We are from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. This Roundtable is a YEG music production. I'd like to introduce you to my other host today, Marissa Kay. Marissa, can you give a wave and a hello?
Hello, hello, hello.
And can you also introduce the guests that we have on the show today?
Yes, absolutely. So we have AMA Girl Band. They're here today. Hello, guys. And we have Keenan back.
Woohoo.
So
Awesome.
welcome.
So for those of you that don't know, today our topic of music that we're chatting about is Germany. We're talking about music from Germany. But before we get into the meat of the conversation, I want to talk about musical journeys. So I kind of want our audience, and for me, Marissa, to learn a little bit more about both of you and kind of what your musical journey has looked like. So how you got into music, where you are now with your music, maybe your favorite part about music. I kind of want to hear about it. So, Keenan, can we start with you, and can you tell us a bit about your journey you've had so far with music?
Yeah, sure. I've been making like music for so long, and just started out as playing guitar and kind of found the interest of like making beats then with a very early age, and kind of just carried on from doing that, writing lyrics, writing songs, and it like took me to where I am now, with producing songs also for other people, and producing mainly for myself and releasing it on Spotify. And I think I'm in a place right now where I feel very comfortable, and where I just know I want to do this for the rest of my life, and hopefully one day be able to quit my job and just carry on doing this. So
I think
yeah.
that's the dream for everybody, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, AMA Girl Band, can we hear more about you two and how your band kind of came to be?
So we are a girl band for now
1.5 years.
Yeah, and we were originally three. We met over social media, over Instagram actually, and started to talk, and we're like, just in Germany there are no girl bands. Why not? Just let's do it. And we are also dancers, so that fit in quite well. And just a week ago, we announced that our third girl left us. So now
we're two.
Yeah, but we are still continuing, and we are also making music since like children.
Yeah, since we're very young. I started with playing piano, then I went to the choir, also took some private lesson in singing.
And I was always just my mom always told me she doesn't want me to be a musician, and then I was like, no, I want to be a singer. So that was always my goal. I just finished school and just to have it behind me, and I always knew I would make music someday.
That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear. For both of your journeys, you guys have some pretty great goals kind of set ahead of yourself. So we're going to jump into our questions about Germany and learning a little bit more about kind of where you guys are from, because obviously we're from Canada, so the world's a little bit different on our end here. But Marissa, did you actually want to start off the first question here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So we know that the attitude towards live music, it can vary throughout different communities. And here in Canada, we've seen quite a bit of support for local live music from the general public. So my question for you guys, in general, how do you find that the public reacts to local live music?
I don't understand the question. Translate, please.
Ja, die Live-Musik im Sinne von
die Öffentlichkeit auf unsere Live-Musik?
Ja, aber nicht auf unsere, sondern auf generell lokale Musik. Also im
Sinne
okay,
von I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, good. We got the translation in. Awesome. Yeah, so feel free, go for it.
Aber nicht so, nicht die ganz großen Artists, sondern halt eher so die Rest.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So I think with like big artists here in Germany, it's pretty hyped up with live concerts and so on, but the smaller local artists like on the street or indie, alternative, all those, with the older generation, it's not very, I think it's judged upon because the people are often very annoyed by people who will play on the street or something. But the people in our generation, like 20 to 25, 30 years old, they really hype up these small club concerts, and then it's really packed and the energy is very, very high. And like we toured in the UK, and I have to say the German clubs have a way higher energy than UK. And as we love UK, don't get us wrong, but like the energy is different. The people here are really, really hypey about the artists that perform in those smaller venues.
That's really interesting. I can't really say that much to that, because like I don't have that much experience with like live music, because I'm such a bedroom artist. I like do everything at home, and I don't know, like if something goes wrong, then it doesn't matter because no one sees it. And but like in general about other artists, I think it's interesting that you say that it's more hyped in Germany, because like always when I watch, like this is me just seeing from videos and everything, and like from the feeling, I always feel like in other countries it's way more hyped than in Germany. I don't know why, but like they all like so crazy and like, I don't know, a bit more open and like just louder shouting and really feeling the music. And in Germany I feel like there's like a saying that you say, people have a Stock im Arsch, like, and I feel like that is in Germany a lot of the time. Like people are very they hold back and they don't I don't know, they
They're
kind of
less free than maybe other
yeah
countries.
But that's what I
Yeah.
meant by the generational gap, because I think the
Yeah.
people over 30, that they are not open to new things. They are always
Yeah.
like, we also get very judged because of our
Yeah.
style, because we are very, I don't know,
When we're outside,
we're just wearing what we want to wear, and it's always
Like a
there's
choker.
always some grandma that sits behind us and is like, what are they there wearing? But
Yeah.
our generation, like the younger people, are really just, they are hyping so much, and we've heard from so many artists that they love to come back to Germany because the energy is so high and people are so welcoming. But I really think you are right, in the older generation they are really stuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of similar to Canada too, actually.
That's so
It's a
funny that
worldwide thing.
Yeah, well, so that's really interesting that that's the kind of vibe there, because I mean, like with the younger generation, that definitely makes sense for sure. I feel like we're a little bit more supportive. And actually, follow-up question, speaking of the younger generation, when it comes to promoting your stuff online, what are some things that have worked for you in order to build your online presence, since the internet and with Instagram and Spotify and YouTube, that's more of a younger generation thing. So do you find that you still rely heavily on local support when you're promoting online, or do you find that you're able to connect with a larger audience online?
The second one, of course, because you can reach a lot more people during via social media. So yeah, we make the experience, it's very easy to get also fans from other countries and to get listeners from other countries if you promote or if you develop your stuff and put it out on social media, of course. Yes.
Yeah, and the things that worked for us the most are just interacting and really showing the fans that you care, that you actually don't think that they're just a number of followers on your
part of you.
Yeah, you get them, you let them know that they really change something in your life when they play your music or help you or support you. And I think that's where you have like a bit of a friendship with them, and that really helped us support our music.
Yeah. I also think it's really amazing sometimes when like I just have people from different countries. I feel like that always touches me way more. I mean, not way more than people that reach out to me in Germany, but it's like when you know there's someone on the other side of the world and they are writing to you or saying like, oh, I listened to your song and it like it's helping me, or I don't know, it's like um just made their day or something. That's things like that always just brightens up my day as well. And when I then promote things on Instagram, or like do, I don't know, set the ads or whatever, when I see like how many people across like the world are just it might just be little messages here and there, like I don't have a massive reach or anything, but it's just those little things that really make me happy at the end of the day. And I think when you're in Germany and you like, you, I don't know, you do street music or whatever, then you kind of have that energy from one place, and that's good. But like to have like little sparkles from everywhere coming like from different directions, I think that's really magical. So yeah.
It's
Little
rewarding. It's
sparks.
very
That's nice
rewarding.
to hear. Yeah, little sparks like this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually had a question kind of about the local scene in Germany. So I kind of want to know what it's like for you guys. I'm curious to know, is there more of a bigger local scene for music, or do you find that most artists are really trying to push themselves to bigger or better or bigger music cities? What do you find it's like typically in Germany?
Well,
Well,
I
oh yeah, sorry,
go
sorry.
on, go on, go on. Sorry. Oh, you
um,
go, you
no,
go.
actually, I think it's very genre related, because a few styles are very, very popular with the locals, and it's just you listen to the Germans and nothing more. And then you have some styles that just don't work in Germany. Like, for example, there are some like indie hipster bands that work really well, and especially the trap, rap, and hip hop scene.
German rap. Yeah.
That's very popular. Like there is a big ass underground scene of rappers and trap people that's just huge. And if you want to make it in Germany, you have to do trap, because that's the easiest way to get your music heard, because it's like the biggest crowd. And for example, with us, like English female pop, it's a bit harder because the people accept way more international artists in that category, and not very many, like I don't know any German artists that really do
Go
English
international.
music.
Yes.
There are a few, but not much. It's just yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the trap thing. I've noticed that as well, that like it really depends on what genre. Because like we all know these German rappers that are like making hits nowadays, and I don't know, it's so funny that like, because I also like to make sort of kind of pop mixed with funk, and I noticed how hard it's like in Germany anyways, to kind of bring out that funky jazzy kind of touch to uh I don't know, just bring it out there. And I that's why I did funk and kind of jazz influenced stuff for quite a while, but then I turned back to pop and kind of integrated the funk style in there, because I just noticed like it's very hard to just do the strict funk thing. Um, but I think if you, I think that's why it's so important nowadays to like keep on doing things on social media, because there you, it doesn't matter like where you are. Um, like people are even gonna like your funk stuff that are, I don't know, from America or New York, whatever, where stuff like that is maybe more hyped. And yeah, so I think uh in Germany, like where you said about the bigger city thing, I think
Yep.
it is more common to then go to move to a bigger city, because I came like from a small town, and then my original plan was to come to to Germany, to Hamburg, and then to like do live shows. Didn't work out because I got into a job and was just producing music at home, but that was the plan, and it is still going to be the plan. But like I think that is very common for other people as well, to go, right, I want to go to a bigger city and kind of play live shows in the biggest city to kind of, I don't know, expand their audience.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. And you guys made me think of a question while we were discussing this, and you guys talked about it's dependent on the genre and it depends on they say a lot of more international artists, there's a lot more focus in like the pop world. So do you guys feel pressured to create English music, or do you still feel that connection to the German language when you're making music?
For us, it's actually actually question we think about the most, because she is more like German influence and I'm more English influence, because I don't like to write in German. I love the English language. It is so amazing to write in, and like the words, and I don't know, I love it so much to write in English. And but I also noticed that people, what I wanted to add to the question before, I'm sorry to change it up, but I noticed that the people started mixing genres, and you can get a lot more experimental in these days. So even the trap guys are starting to like introduce rock into it, and like take in elements from R&B and so on. So it's mixing up more and more, so that I
So
think you are not tied to anything these days. You don't have to do one genre. Also with the languages, you don't have to do German or English. We, for example, we want to start like mixing it.
there are already also rappers in Germany who are creating an own language, like an own
Yeah.
language. Yeah, like Jan Mufasa. He uses English words and German words, and it's like another language. So
Or
yeah.
sometimes even like French words or something. So these days you don't have to be like, okay, I want to do German music or I want to do English music, because the people in on social media are anyways listening so much to different languages and are able to speak and understand English so fluently. So it's not a problem to mix it up.
Yeah, I definitely I agree to that. The thing is with me, it's like I'm not pressured at all to like write English music because I'm actually half British, so that's why I actually feel way more comfortable to write in English, and I just got brought up in Germany. I was born in Germany, and that's why I live here. But I don't really feel that pressure to like write English just because it might be more popular or international. So yeah.
No, we neither. But well, we try to put the things into our music what we feel. So
Yeah.
we're not like, okay, we have to make in English music or German music. We see which develops. Can I say like this?
Yeah.
My problem with German is always that is things that don't sound cheesy in English sound cheesy in
That's
German,
true.
and
That's
it's,
true.
it's such a small line between pop and Schlager, and I
Yeah.
like
Folk music, yeah. Yeah.
ne,
Nein,
Schlager, yeah.
Schlager, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you say it? Schlager?
Schlager?
What does
yeah.
that mean?
It's like
traditional music, no?
no, it's not traditional. It's more like these Oktoberfest
Where you
music.
drink a lot.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
simple music.
yeah, I for example, me, I can't stand this music, and it's such a
also-
small line, because in English you can just I will always love you, such a cheesy line, but it works.
And
In German
ich werde dich immer lieben.
it doesn't work. It's just
Sounds different.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah.
Doesn't have
also
That's
with
so
attitude, like we are we love attitude songs like Doja Cat and rapper stuff and so on, and in English to say I'm a boss ass bitch is okay, but you can't do that in German. It's just it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a very interesting point, actually. I never would have thought about it that way. I have one more follow-up question kind of about the social media / English and the different languages. So when you're actually promoting your music, whether you're doing Facebook ads or Instagram ads, do you think that it would make more sense for a German artist to try and push either that in English or in the German language? Like, what do you typically do if you're making an ad? What's kind of your thought process with that?
Shall I go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
That's a really interesting question, because I actually think every I've heard a lot of the times that people told me like, why don't you just speak in German? Because on Instagram I always do everything in English. Like I talk to the people in English when I go live. I talk in English and I do everything in English because that's just what I want to be like identified with basically. But like um I've noticed that also if you do YouTube and you do the whole game like all the different platforms, I think it's easier if you promote it in the language where you live in, because like you have your friends, you have all the people around you, the family and everyone that is going to kind of understand it maybe a little better if it's like in a language that they are all speaking in and living in. So like I heard a lot of the times that my friends say like, why don't you do German stuff? Why don't you do German stuff? And I'm like, I don't it's not that I don't like Germany. I love Germany, but like otherwise I wouldn't be here. But I just the language is just it doesn't fit to what I want to express in my heart. I don't want like what I have like inside. I can't bring in German words. It just always like they like you guys said, it just sounds cheesy. Like it just doesn't sound right. So like that's why I always I tend to go more English, and I have thought of like sometimes maybe just bringing a bit of German in because it could be funny for those people that know me for a long time, or like to have like little insiders with the German people and like kind of let them know, okay, they are there, and it's not like I'm not fucking on them and just like going doing my thing with complete English and being ignorant. But I think it could be healthy to do a mix, but I just haven't got myself to do it yet. Like
We had a comment on Reddit. They just said it's called Germanglish is what they call it. That's awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, it's, I mean, as an English speaker, I think it's really cool to hear people speak in different languages, and it's always fun because it's not something that you're used to. But thanks for answering that, you guys. That was really fantastic to hear about. So we're going to move this and we're going to shift this a little bit to collaboration. So collaboration and songwriting with other artists, it can be a very rewarding and fulfilling experience to help get those creative juices flowing. When it comes to songwriting or producing for other artists, how do you approach the creative process? What are some things you like to consider before you decide to collaborate?
So I think
for us,
we're a good team because, oder? Soll ich sagen oder darf ich sagen? Yeah. In songwriting sessions, I'm more the melodic part. So when I listen to music, also I give more focus on the melody and the vibe and the sound. And Ari is very strong in lyrics. So this is where we're a good team, where we.
Yeah, and also before we work with other artists or before we consider working with someone, it's always for us just a vibe check. So I think you can collaborate with anyone. You don't have to be like, okay, I'm a rock artist, I need to collaborate with other rock artists. I think if you, as a classical player and a rock artist, it could be a great mix. You just have to have a great vibe on like the human area. So if I don't vibe with someone on like
personal level, then it's hard, I think, because also some sessions, or if you write music together, it's also something personal, and I think it's very important that you
very
both
intimate
feel, intimately.
You have to feel secure and like comfortable, and if that's okay, I think you can create music with anyone who's creative and willing to do that.
Doesn't matter also the genre then.
Yeah. I think it's so amazing though, like that nowadays it's become so easy actually. That's what I think anyways. Like it's so easy to collaborate now with other people, because like for me sometimes I just like scroll on Instagram and then I see an artist maybe that is like has the same reach as me maybe, and I just go like, dude, like she's fucking sick or he's fucking sick. I want to collaborate like with that person. Then I just like write them a message and say like, yo, I love your stuff. Do you think it would work out to maybe do something together? And like right now I have so many like people on my list where we're still in the making of doing it, making tracks, but like they're all not finished yet. But I've just noticed how easy it has become nowadays to just maybe pick that person and say, hey, I want to make music with you. And I think that is so cool, because back then I maybe it wouldn't have been possible like without social media and all that. Like I always think social media, I have like a love and hate relationship with it, because sometimes it fucks your life when you're like scrolling and you're just not doing anything, and it like kills your time. But sometimes in these cases, like when you find someone that you really want to make music with, and it works, I think social media is great, and it's just such a cool opportunity, like so many opportunities out there that we can all take. And yeah, social media just helps in that case, I think.
And when you guys were talking about collaborating with creating music together and kind of making sure that the vibe is good too, like social media is great with that as well, like you were saying, Keenan. So when it comes to creating music together, do you find that you guys try to put your own voice in there? Or if you're creating music for somebody else, do you try to adhere to their sound? Like, do you try to get your own sound in there?
I think if you write music and are just focused on doing it for the other person, it's not something that comes from your heart. So when we write music, or when like songs, lyrics, anything, I have to be sure that I can identify with that, and I can stand behind that and say, okay, that's my heart in there, because otherwise it's not my music. For me, music is such an emotional thing for me. And for me, I have a difference between artists and musicians. Like, you can be a great musician, you can play perfect, you can hit every note you sing, but you're not an artist to me until you pour your heart into it. And if you have that passion to do that emotional, intimate stuff, then you can't write songs that aren't with like your sound, your note, your personality, because that's not possible anymore at that point.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah, that's funny, because the people that I've been collaborating with right now, it's funny because we've always been, it's not been like together in a room, it's always been kind of like just sending files back and forth. They send me vocal lines, they send me like maybe even a full track, and they just want me to maybe, I don't know, write a verse on it, or they want me to mix and master it or whatever. And like um a lot of the times though, I have received stuff that I actually think I see the potential in it, and I think it's really good. But I just know that the chord progression that they have maybe chosen, or something that they have done, um doesn't like bring the emotion out of their lyrics, or the vocal melody. And sometimes then I think like, if you would have just like played those two major chords in a different like different like if you played the chord progression in a different way, you could have maybe touched like more people, you know. And I feel that so much sometimes. And that's why like the people that I've worked with, I've normally kind of destroyed their vision maybe, but I've sent them something back with what I have done, and they have always been very happy with the results, and said like, "Oh my God, I would have never thought that this would work." Because sometimes I just I just do crazy things. Like if something sounds like, I don't know, like the band 1975, and like you have guitars going ding, 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 and then like you have like something rising, and it goes to a drop that sounds like something from Charlie Puth or something, with a bass line going like, and then like you would say that would not work in one song, but sometimes I just say fuck it, we're gonna do that. And like that's, I think, sometimes just decisions that I make that maybe other people don't, they wouldn't like trust themselves maybe to go that direction, but maybe if you just have the balls to do it, then it's actually great. And that's why every time when I've collaborated with people and I've kind of maybe destroyed their vision, I've opened up a new vision which they would have never thought of. And if they are happy with it, then that's fine. Like, of course, if they would say, no, that's not my vibe, that's not what I want to express with this song, then that's completely fine. But like, I've I've done that a lot of times to just completely destroy what they have created. But yeah.
But I
No,
think
but
that's
I
the
think
beauty
that's
of it.
exactly what's nice about collaborations, because you have one person that pours their heart into the music, then the other side, and
Mm,
you create something that's even more amazing. That's, I think, the goal. So
yeah.
You can take an advantage, or you can take it as a chance to, yeah, it's very very hard for me to speak in English, but I think you know what I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah,
No, you're doing great. Don't worry.
that's
You're doing
that's
awesome.
a good thing about collaborations, that you can, maybe it opens your way, or you think, okay, this destroyed my vision, but you can also see it like, okay, he would do it like this, okay, maybe next time I could try also to mix some genres or whatever.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is just that you can identify and stand behind what's the end result. So
Mm.
the process can always be chaotic and just trying stuff out. And just if you can say, that's my piece, that's something I want to show people in the end,
Mm,
then I think that's great.
yeah.
So I have another question actually. Here in Canada, the genre of music that we have is more dominating, and it can really depend on the region you're in. So sometimes, like in a place like Toronto, there's a lot of rap and hip hop and more R&B. But if you come to Edmonton, you will find a bit more country music because we're closer to that kind of the prairies and that kind of lifestyle. So I kind of wanted to know from you guys. And I guess we've talked about a tiny bit already, but what are some trends in the German music scene that you've seen, and how have those trends changed over the years in terms of what's popular? So, kind of what I'm asking is what genre have you found has really kind of over time really made a difference to German music?
Definitely trap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
German rap.
Pop, for example, a few years ago, pop was so like such a thing. It was the most popular music. And now if you look at the charts, like the first I think 20 places or something, with a few exceptions, are rap and trap.
Yeah, I think it started some years ago with one. I have the feeling it started with one boy group, like not boy group, pop boy group, but like a gang, 187, and they made no,
Okay.
wait, they
Yeah.
switched. And Bones MC, they switched the German rap, which before was very street. They
Mm,
switched it up into like more club sound, and
yeah.
from then on, I have the feeling that it developed in more different directions, and now every young person here in Germany is listening to German rap.
Yeah, and also like even the pop artists are switching it up and going into, like, we have, for example, a rapper, he's called Bowser. Like the sound is very pop
Yeah,
while he raps.
indeed, yeah.
So it's always just, I don't know, the pop really, I think, a bit died out. There are a few artists, but not very many. It's more like indie alternative pop. Then yes, for example, I know some bands, but they are also very like small in comparison to these rappers. So we have, I don't know if you know these, but like von wegen Lisbeth and they are so
Yeah, I don't listen.
these are some, yeah, there are some
yeah.
indie like
Mm,
yeah, it's more alternative.
Yeah, there's German rap and German pop. Yeah, that's true.
But the German pop is really like,
That's
these are
very
yeah,
a little bit cheesy, but it's also a style, so it's okay. But yeah, these two directions I think
but
are very
definitely
strong in
German
Germany
pop
now.
died out in comparison to rap.
That's interesting.
It's not up there.
Wow.
Yeah,
yeah, I agree. That's totally right. I find myself as well sometimes like I don't know, do you call it guilty pleasure? Like when I actually listen to German rap, and I'm not a fan of it. Like really, I'm not a fan of it sometimes because I just don't like the way they express themselves and like always make I don't know, like swearing is not bad, but it's what they say about other people what I just think is not cool sometimes. But some like you said with 187 that they made it like sound clubby. I with those exact songs, like I would actually like chill with my friends because they listen to that, but I don't. And then I'm listening, and I'm actually like nodding my head, and I'm like, this is actually not that bad. But yeah, it's become really really popular here in Germany. The trap and like rap scene is it's grown like huge. It's crazy.
And I don't even think we have regions that don't listen to it, because I just thought, hey, maybe in the smaller cities, but no, all the
Yeah, especially there
the
also.
people that stream the most are the younger generation, because the older just Spotify isn't popular with the older generation here.
Yeah.
So the only people that listen to Spotify and like push up the streaming is just the younger generation that listens to rap. So and they even brought back things like reggaeton. There's a German rap artist Apache that brought back like reggaeton
that's
beats
not a
and like
reggaeton, I think. That's
Oh,
more
yeah,
like disco, some
no,
disco.
der hat
Also-
Latin Beats, klar. voll
Okay,
viele.
I don't think so, but yeah, okay. You can show me after. I'm curious.
Yeah, and like flowy and trap and rap. I don't know. It's just it changed so much
Yeah.
in the last few years.
That's really cool. And man, I never would have thought trap music, but that from what it sounds like, that sounds like where everything is going. And that's really neat. We actually had a comment from Reddit from Cool Boy, spells it in a different way, but he says, if I want to appreciate German music, where should I start? So can you just in like 10 seconds or less, can you like toss your top favorite German artists so people can check them out?
Whoa.
Oh, it's
Oh,
hard.
that's gonna be some different genres right now here.
You forget every single artist you've ever listened to. Just really quick, bam, 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 super fast.
Okay. Okay, doch, yeah. Okay, so my top favorite artists, German rappers, are Jan Mufasa, BHZ. It's also a German boy group, and Yu. She's also sometimes more a little bit also pop, but she's a woman. 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 And yeah, okay, BHZ, Jan Mufasa, Yu, and who? You know what I'm listening also every time.
Okay. I don't know what you love. Oh
Yeah.
God. Okay,
Yeah, these artists, I think. Oh, and Lucio, 101. So
these are
they're
some smaller
all
artists.
yeah, they are all different styles in the rap game, where I would say. But yeah.
Yeah, so I love, for example, a smaller indie band that is called Province. That's a really good one. Of course, yeah, I listen to some of the rappers, but not as much because
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
because I love English and like other music more, but Rin is one of my favorite artists, and he's doing like the trap, I think the trap pop direction a bit. So I love that one. And also I just listen to all of my underground rapper friends that just drop out like every 2 weeks some new music. Like
Young Mon.
Yeah, he does really great music.
Yeah.
For example, so if you want to listen to some bangers from a smaller artist, Young Mon is amazing.
And another artist I really love from the melody and from the vibe, from the older albums, is UFO 361. Yes. So yeah, it depends. I listen to some rappers, but either because I love the sound or either because I love the lyrics, especially. It differs. Different reasons.
Well, I'm the complete wrong person to ask when it comes to German music what to recommend, because like I just don't listen to it. But I've been thinking, and there's like one girl that I actually listen to that also does this kind of trap pop thing, and she's called Elif. I don't know if you guys
Oh,
know
Yeah,
her.
of course.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I've listened to her like the last I don't know, like 2 months, and I really I think she is really dope because she kind of mixes like this kind of aggressive and cheeky kind of vibe into her music, but also pours her heart into like when she sings, and that's why I think Elif is she's a good one if it comes to like the German kind of rap but singing scene. Like, yeah, so I would go with her. But
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks for those recommendations. I'm always interested to learn about those things. So there you go, cool boy. Answered your question. Everyone is very perplexed with the name Young Mufasa, so I think they're gonna go check that person
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Yeah. So our next question here. This is always interesting to hear from as many different perspectives as you possibly can for this question. It's one of my favorite questions to ask. So everyone has a different definition of success when it comes to their careers and their ambitions. So how do you personally measure success, and at what point in your career will you say that you've made it?
I actually had that exact same question asked by a Tinder match a few weeks ago. So.
Amazing.
There you go.
No, but so I actually thought about that, and for me, I always have this goal for as it's not for the band, it's just for me. I have as a background, and now of course my background isn't showing. Amazing. Wait a second. I have the picture of the Madison Square Garden in the background. And as a child, I just saw all my artists perform there that I just really loved. And I was always like, I want to reach the state where I can sell out Madison Square Garden. I know it's a high goal, but like I'm 20, I have time.
Better to have high goals.
Yeah, and for me, but success would mean for me that I can stand on stage and see people be touched by my music. I don't care if it's like 100, 1,000, or a million. If I can touch someone with my music and like make them cry, make them laugh, make them feel something, that's already success for me, because I want to reach that. I don't want it for the money, for the lifestyle, or anything. I want to have that. Yeah.
Okay, so for me, it is more that I aspire to reach the point. I'm more the studio type than the stage type. So I want to really get to the point where I can overcome all the technical aspects of production, and so I can really let flow and let go my creativity from deep within. So this is really the point. This is also the point where, was heißt Erfüllung? Erfüllung? Fulfillment. I want to feel this. I know I'm already feeling this in some studio sessions, but there's also capacity to, yeah, you know. Well, this is the point I want to reach. So, and this is for me freedom, and of course, but also I also like the lifestyle, of course. Also, I don't refuse to say it. I also want to have the lifestyle, and yes, both. But mainly the studio, like the feeling to get your expressions out, and and that's how you can also grow. So yeah, it's hard to say it in English, but yeah, I think you get my point.
Yeah, I would also say that I'm more like the studio guy, in that what it's funny because like when I then hear people like you say being on stage is like that's a goal, or the lifestyle, or whatever, like all these things, because like I used to think like this, but then there came like a time where I just thought all that isn't really that important to me anymore. What is important, or what my goal would be, is just to like, I don't even want to be famous, or I don't even want to be, I mean that would be a lie, but like you get what I mean. It's not that important, and it's like uh what is important to me is that I can make music and live from that, you know? Like if it's enough to fill my fridge and I wake up in the morning and I can make a new song without thinking about how to pay this, how to pay that because I didn't do this or didn't do this. Like, you know, all these things that you have to think of when you do like when you live a regular life like everyone else, then it's like I just want to let go of that and have financial freedom, but from making that what I love with all my
Yeah,
heart, you know?
yeah,
Mhm.
That to me is the that to me is success. Just like being able to let go of the things that kind of always rip you away from music,
Yeah.
if you get what I mean.
Yep.
Because
I would
that
also,
is
sorry, yeah, sorry.
you go. I was
No,
finished.
no,
I thought
finish. It's very
no,
interesting
I'm
what
done. I'm
you're saying.
done.
Okay, I would describe it also as freedom. It's not success, but it's also freedom, and that's the goal. That's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
Sorry.
of course that would be a great advantage to have, like the financial freedom and so on. But I have never really like I struggle very often with money, but like I have never really cared. Like I was just like, yeah, I have these struggles, but I don't care because I have other things I worry about, or I have other
Yeah.
things to think about. So like if I can, if I, of course, I think with my goal to like play shows and like see people react to my music, I guess the financial freedom would just come with it. I have never really thought about that as a goal because I really just want to see people listen to my music. I want to people to react to it and people to like it as much to just to feel the same things I felt when I recorded it. And
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because I really, really love going to concerts as well. So I'm that person who queues at like 4 o'clock in the morning just so I can get barricade and then see my favorite artists up close. For Halsey, for example, I drove to Berlin when I lived in Cologne overnight so I can queue in at 4 o'clock in the morning. So,
Nice.
and this excitement, this adrenaline that you have when you see your favorite artists up close and like when you see that I looked into her eyes and I saw that she was absolutely nuts. Like she was batshit crazy. She was, and this feeling, I also have that when I record. When I worked with her for the whole day, and then I come home and I'm like, okay, you know what? Then I'm gonna record the whole night some new songs, and I can't stop. It drives me, and it drives me crazy as well. And I want this feeling that I have, this fire in me,
Yeah.
to be in my songs and that people listen to it and feel like I poured everything, every little thing in my body into it. And if
Mm,
people hear that and are like, okay, shit, this makes me cry because I feel the same, then I reached my goal. I don't need anything
Yeah.
more.
that's beautiful. Yeah.
Mhm. So
I
just
felt
to finish off this roundtable, Marissa and I really like to ask our this question kind of to help our younger audience with some advice on kind of becoming a musician. So as Marissa and I can only talk from a Canadian perspective, we're wondering what advice would you offer to anyone aspiring to be a German artist when they, I guess, get older, if you will?
Well,
hmm.
I would lie if I would say it's easy. And all these people, I often listen to videos or motivational speeches or something that say, "Oh, you just have to believe in yourself," and I really have to say it's not. It's just not enough. You have to work for your goal, and I don't mean that you just have to hustle 24/7. You have to believe in what you do, but you also have to give your everything into it. You can't be like, okay, I want to do music, so I'm gonna do it twice a week. That
Right.
doesn't work in this day and age anymore because there are other people that hustle 3 times as hard.
Yep.
And especially with social media, where the output and like the amount of information that you have is immense. It doesn't stop anywhere. So if you want to be seen, if you want to be your music to be heard, you have to put it out there. You can't sit in your home and be like, I'm a musician, so I'm sitting here at home and doing nothing. You have to put it out there. You have to get people to listen to it. And if you then believe in yourself and be confident about what you do, you can convince other people that your stuff is good, even if it's shy, just because you believe in it. And I think that's my advice.
I think the first point to believe in yourself, it comes also in advance, because otherwise it is very difficult for you to also grow as a person and to develop your own music. That's the first point, which is very difficult, I think, and not easy for everyone. You have to believe in yourself, because otherwise you won't really succeed, and you have to stand behind it what you're doing.
Yeah.
But oh, sorry. But it is very important that you try, because sitting in your room and thinking, oh, I don't know, is it a good one, or should I write? Oh, it's not the solution. You have to take action, and what was the first thing I said? Yeah, you have to believe in yourself, take action, and just take a step, and not. It's very important that you move, and
if you ever feel bad, listen to stuff people put out earlier. Like, do you know the interview where Ed Sheeran showed how he sang a few years ago? It was terrible. So, like, I look at videos from years ago, even from 1 year ago, and I think it's awful. And like you become better every day, so you just have to put stuff out so people even can. You can't be perfect. You can't
growing.
You can't work until you're perfect and only start putting out stuff then, because that's not how it works.
Right. And how about you, Keenan?
Well, I would say, of course, the same step one: believe in yourself, otherwise nothing's gonna work. But like, I would say you have to show up every day. And what I mean by that is, especially nowadays on social media, because I struggle with this myself. Sometimes I have weeks where I don't post, weeks where I don't show that I'm there. And that is so like crucial nowadays, because you should, if I always think of it like this, um if you show up every day, then someone has something to make a picture of you or say if it's good or if it's not, right? So like, if you do that every day, if it's on YouTube, if it's on Instagram, whatever, if you go on Twitch live every day, whatever, like if you do that every day, then there might be people that leave, but there might always be people coming and growing a bigger audience. So like that, I think, is just so important, because I imagine it as if, like, you know, when you go to school and there's always like that one guy that never came because he was always sick. And like, people like that, if they don't, I mean, I don't know what they have, or if there's something like in the family or whatever, but like, if they don't come, then the teacher has nothing to make a good mark or make a bad mark, or say if this musician is good or not. Like in the class, it would be if it's a good student or not. So like, in the Instagram or social media world, you have to show up every day and show that you are doing something to like give the audience an opportunity to even say if they like you or not. Or like, sometimes I just find someone random on the explore page and I'm like, oh my god, this made my day, it's so beautiful. And then like, it's actually funny because that girl Miller Music, for that was actually supposed to be here, she being posted by like a repost page that's called What's Music or something. And that was like on my feed, and it was a song that I thought was so beautiful, and on that day I didn't feel that great. And when I heard that song, I was like, oh my god, this is so beautiful, and it made my day. I like commented, said thank you so much for just sharing this. And that's why I actually think it's so it's a pity that she's not here today. But like, just things like that, you can just have such impact on people like that maybe are not having such a great day. And I think that's why it's just so important to show up every day, just show up. And I know like I'm not the best example because I've been like sometimes I find too much screen time just uh is not good for my mental health and shit. So like especially when I work as a graphic designer and I'm 9 to 5 in front of the screen, and then you have the phone, then you make music. I'm like basically I'm 24/7 in front of the screen, which is not healthy. But you don't have to be in front of the screen 24/7 to be active on social media. Like
Yeah.
you just do your stuff all in one day and post or schedule for a whole week. And I think that would be my advice, because I'm not great at it, but I think it is so important nowadays to show up every day and say, here, I'm alive, I'm making good music, check it out, you know. So
I think people don't realize that you can't be seen if you don't put up stuff. Like I was like that when I was 13, 14, 15, and I was just okay, maybe 15, 16, it doesn't matter. I was just at home and crying to my friends like, nobody listens to my music, it's shitty, it's not good, I will never be a singer. And my friends were like, yeah, you're not releasing stuff, how are people supposed to listen to your music? And it's so easy to spiral down in this nobody can find me and there are so many musicians out there and so on. But if you post every day, the chances of one video getting viral and like just blowing up is so much higher than once a week or once a month. So yeah.
Well, that was actually our last question for today. We're out of time, unfortunately. I would love to continue this conversation for more hours, but we don't have the time. We are so lucky to have had both of you guys on today. If you guys are at home watching this roundtable with Vienna Whyte on Twitch, make sure to follow us to be notified about our upcoming shows that we post throughout the week. If podcasts are more your style, make sure to search up Vienna Whyte Podcasts. So I'm Millie Rouge, one of your hosts, and we have again Marissa Kay here, our other host from the show today. Marissa, where can you find our band on the internet?
You can find our band at Vienna Whyte on Instagram. Vienna, like the city, White spelled with a Y, because we're trendy. Find us on Instagram. That's where you find all of our socials.
Awesome. And Keenan, can you start us off by just saying again your name and where our audience can find you on social media?
Sure. Okay, well, my name is Keenan Back, and you can find me under that name also on YouTube, on Spotify, on Instagram, I actually have a Twitch account, but I don't go live, but maybe that will change. So I don't know, give me a follow or whatever. Other than that, I actually am on TikTok, but I'm not that active, but still follow me there because maybe that would change. So yeah, all those platforms, all you have to look for is Keenan Back, and you'll find me everywhere.
Fantastic. And AMA Girl Band, can you tell us again where our audience can find you on social media?
So yeah, we're AMA, German Girl Band, and you can find us anywhere with just AMA Girl Band. So it's YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram,
Twitter.
Yeah, on Twitter it's actually tweet me anything, but
Spotify
no, you can find the AMA Girl Band, you find us anywhere.
Yeah, okay, you don't know.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much. It was so great to meet you, and we'll definitely be in touch in the near future here. But thank you so much, and have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you also for the invitation. Bye bye.